Hey guys. So, one of the big talking points that's been going on over the past couple of months, if not the past year, and is one of the reasons for the writer strike going on right now, is AI and its benefits and disbenefits, if you will. And apparently, a lot of people really don't see a problem with AI. Mostly the sites and programs like ChatGPT and others. They don't really see a problem with them as they speak. And just out of curiosity, I finally decided to check it out myself today. And I typed in several scenarios, different scenarios, different ideas and everything. And it came up with some unique ideas. Now, is it perfect? No. It's basically in its beginning stages. Right now, it's in what's called May 3rd version. It's working on the May 10th version. Apparently, it's a weekly update deal that it does, and it's currently working on May 10th. The big difference I think that people look at when it comes to things like Chat GPT, is the fact that just like any service, you have a free avenue to go down and a monthly avenue to go down. The monthly one will let you get in no matter how high the frequency and demand, as they call it, is. But the free one, well, it all depends. If you get in there at low and it's not so bad, you're good. But if you get in there when it's high, then you're going to have issues where it's going to tell you, hey, there was a network error, there was a issue going on. We're trying to fix it, and you're going to deal with all these things. And I'm not saying you wouldn't deal with them when it comes to basically the monthly option if you wanted to go down that. And now, of course, there are other programs like Chat GPT that also um, work in a similar way. There's Instant GPT. There's a new one that they're bringing out called what is it? DAO, I think is one of them, and then another that they're working on. So over time, things like this are constantly evolving. They are. And what's interesting, though, like I said, is I typed down several different scenarios. Like, I decided, okay, what are the biggest issues as Sonic fans, as far as Sonic fans go? One of the biggest issues we've had is 134. And the fact that there's slap heard around the world is something that's always been, an issue with us. Like, we know it shouldn't have happened this way. It could have happened differently. So here's what I did. I asked ChatGPT to write a scenario that didn't involve the slap, that basically went in a different direction, a more sensible, reasonable direction. And this is the answer it gave me. Get a load of this. And I was surprised when it gave me this. It said, this was the resolution to 134. Get a load of this. And just to let you know what I'm talking about, I'll bring it up right now. I'll bring it up right now, guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring it up. It's one of the first ones I did on the first page I did. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring it up here. I know it's coming. Let's see. Yeah, I asked it a lot. I was just, like I say, testing it out. Seeing what scenarios it could give us. Here it is. So this is what I asked it. I asked it basically create a different situation in Archie Sonic 134, that doesn't result in Sally slapping Sonic, but is more understanding of the situation they're currently in. And this is what it said to me, and I quote, and I have it right here in front of the screen. But here's what it said to me, and I quote. It says, in Archie Sonic 134, Sonic and Sally are having a tense argument about how to proceed with their plan to take down Eggman. In the original comment, this argument quickly devolves into Sally slapping Sonic out of frustration. However, in this alternate scenario, Sally takes a more understanding approach. You hear that? It says, and I quote, repeating, it says, this was its response. It says, in Archie Sonic 134, Sonic and Sally are having a tense argument about how to proceed with the plan to take down Dr. Eggman. In the original comic, this argument quickly devolves into Sally slapping Sonic out of frustration. However, in this alternate scenario, Sally takes a more understanding approach. And this is the approach they said. And I quote, as the argument heats up, Sally takes a deep breath and tries to calm herself down. She realizes that both she and Sonic are under a lot of stress and that their tempers are running high. Instead of lashing out at Sonic, Sally takes a step back and tries to see things from his perspective. She acknowledges that he has a valid point and that his concerns about their plan are legitimate. Sonic, surprised by Sally's change in attitude, starts to calm down as well. He appreciates that Sally is taking the time to understand his perspective and is open to listening to his concerns. Together, they work through their differences and come up with a new plan that takes into account both of their concerns. They both agree they need to work together and trust each other if they want to defeat Dr. Eggman. In the end, Sonic and Sally leave the argument behind and focus on the common goal. They realize that they are stronger when they work together and that their friendship and trust are the key to their success. This issue ends on a positive note, with Sonic and Sally united in their mission to save the world. So, let me ask you this. How can something that's not even that old, that is limited in what it has, informationally, which it's going to gain over time thanks to people inserting certain things and information via Google and Bing. How can something like that, in my opinion, folks, how can something like that write up a scenario, come up with a scenario just like that, that makes more sense than what we got in 134? How can that do that? You know how? Because what I did is I asked it basically to, what was I? I got to get back to it, hold on. But I asked it basically to give me a different scenario, an alternate scenario, basically, if you will. Let me see, I'm trying to find it again. Where is it? Come on. Where are ya? Okay. Oh, it's a bit down then. Hold on, guys. And I'm also checking the battery life. I got 2 bars right now before I have to charge. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Again, all I did was ask it the question of, or all I did was kind of put in the suggestion of create a different situation in Archie Sonic 134 that doesn't result in Sally slapping Sonic, but is more understanding of the situation they're currently in. That's all I asked it. And guess what? It gave me a better, more sensible answer. How in the name of God does that come up with a better scenario than what we got with Carl Bullets? I mean, Carl, no offense, man, you're a great writer, but if ChatGPT was around back then, you could have asked it right then and there what I just asked it. Help me create a situation that doesn't result in this. I mean, come on. Excuse me there. Come on. If something like that can make sense out of what makes sense of something and basically, make sure there's no real argument but more understanding, why couldn't Carl? I mean, come on. But we're not done. Oh, we're not done. Take my bar life there. I'm looking at the reflection. But I asked it also, when it came to Sonic SatAM, I asked it, do a setup based on the cliffhanger of Sonic SatAM Season 2 that gets Season 3 to resolve it. This was its answer. Get a load of this. It says, the Season 2 finale of Sonic SatAM left fans with a major cliffhanger. The evil Dr. Robotnik had finally been defeated, or so it seemed. But Sonic and his friends had been transported to a strange new world. The fate of the beloved home Mobius was left unknown. Fans eagerly awaited a third season to resolve the cliffhanger and bring closure to the series. Season 3 opens with Sonic and his friends in a strange, unfamiliar land, which they could get there. That's a good scenario, a good starting point. They quickly realize that they have been transported to another dimension, one where the laws of physics are different and the environment is hostile. As they explore their new surroundings, they discover they are not alone. They encounter a group of resistance fighters who are fighting against the tyranny of an evil overlord. The overlord, they learn, has been enslaving and oppressing the inhabitants of this world for years, and the resistance fighters are the only hope for change. Sonic and his friends join forces with the resistance fighters, using their skills and knowledge to help the cause. They soon discovered that Dr. Robotnik, who they thought was defeated, had also been transported to this world. He has allied himself with the Overlord and is using his scientific knowledge to create weapons and technology to further their domination. Sonic and friends must fight not only for their own survival, but for the freedom of this world as well. Along the way, they encounter new allies, new enemies, and new challenges. In the end, Sonic and his friends manage to defeat the Overlord and Dr. Robotnik, and they find a way to return to Mobius. They discover that while they were away, Mobius has been transformed into a paradise free of the oppression and danger that had plagued it before. Sonic and friends realize that their journey to this strange new world had been necessary to bring out this transformation. As the series comes to a close, Sonic and his friends reflect on their adventure and the lessons they've learned. They realize no matter where they are, they will always be able to fight for what is right and make a difference in the world. Now, even though that's not kind of what Ben Hurst or what Team Season is, currently working on or basing the work on, it does kind of feel like it would work in Season 3. It really would. It does feel like it would work in that kind of a scenario and everything. And let me check my time here, guys. I do apologize. Let me just check. Hold on. Okay. Got about 2.5 minutes. I do apologize. But like I said, it does feel like it works in that kind of scenario. It would work in that kind of scenario. But we're not done. I even asked it another question. I asked it about Tails and Nicole because we know in various medias of the fandom, people like to pair these two together. And that goes like this. And it's a short one. Get a load of this. It says, Nicole the Hollow, because I asked it basically to come up with a scenario that would work in that, right? Where they would fall in love, some fans put it. It says, Nicole the Hollow Lynx and Miles Tails Prowl had always been good friends since they first met in the post-reboot Archie Sonic comics, or remet. But as time went on, they began to realize that there was something more between them than just friendship. It started off with little things, lingering touches, shy smiles, moments of eye contact that lasted just a little too long. They both tried to ignore these feelings, at first not wanting to risk ruining the friendship, but the attraction between them only grew stronger. It wasn't until one night where they were working on a project together that they finally gave in to their feelings. They found themselves drawn together, unable to resist the magnetic pull between them any longer. They shared a kiss, and from that moment on, they were inseparable. The relationship was not without its challenges, of course. There were at times when their duties as freedom fighters would pull them apart, and moments of uncertainty and doubt would creep in, but they always found their way back to each other, and their love only grew stronger with each passing day. Nicole and Tails were an unexpected match, but they proved to be the perfect fit for each other. Their love brought them both happiness and strength, and they knew that as long as they had each other, they could face any challenge that came their way. And that's just basically asking it, essentially. That's just basically asking it, as I check my time again, guys, I do apologize. That's just asking it, to come up with a scenario of how those two would fall in love. And that's it. That's all I did. That's all I asked it. I mean, again, let me see if I can find it here, because I know I put it down. But yeah, basically that's what it did. It basically gave me that answer, if you will. It basically gave me that answer. Yeah, it basically gave me that answer, and honestly, I think it's a good answer. It's a good way to bring them together. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and give you a little bit of an example of what it could do positively, and yeah, just give me your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about it.